Hello fellow shadows, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about how Darth Sidious kind of ruined the Skywalker Saga. And this isn't really a shot at Darth Sidious, the Emperor Palpatine. This is more of a shot towards Disney, if you want to take it that route. So, Darth Sidious is one of the greatest villains in general. He is definitely one of the greatest Star Wars villains in general as well. He played both sides in the prequels. He played both sides in the Clone Wars. And then even after he was revealed to be this evil dictator, like I'm talking about shortly after the prequels, like at the end of Revenge of the Sith, he still manipulated both sides. And then he got killed by Darth Vader. Truthfully, if you want to say, the prequels, Star Wars, The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, plus the originals like A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, are all the Skywalker Saga. Because the first three centers around Anakin, and how he, like, towards the end of the movie of Episode 2, marries Padme, which kind of makes her a Skywalker by marriage. And how in the Clone Wars, they kind of took us a little bit more on the journey of Anakin's story of being a Jedi. And yeah, they brought in Ahsoka in the series that lasted 7 seasons. And I realized that the 7th season is still going on, but it still lasted 7 seasons. Then Revenge of the Sith shows us how Anakin became Darth Vader. And then 4, 5, and 6 shows us how Luke became a Jedi, Luke being Anakin's son, and how Leia fit into the story as well, because she is Luke's twin sister. So the first 6 Star Wars movies is the Skywalker Saga, hands down. And you can debatably say that Rogue One is part of the Skywalker Saga, even though it's the only Skywalker that the movie has in the movie is Darth Vader. But it definitely is a big factor in the Skywalker storyline in terms of how did the rebels find out about the Death Star, how did they retrieve the Death Star plans, and then episode 4 is how a small group of, I guess, rebels brought their plans back to the Rebel Alliance. So, yeah, for no doubt, you can say that Star Wars Episodes 1, A Phantom Menace, all the way through Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, are all Skywalker Saga, including Rogue One, including the Clone Wars, and Rebels. I'm counting Rebels as part of the Skywalker storyline, even though it didn't have any Skywalkers in it. But it still kind of led up to some things that happened in the original trilogy, which is part of the Skywalker Saga. Now, the sequel saga was all about Luke, like trying to find Luke. Okay. But, and you can kind of say sort of about the Skywalkers, because Kylo Ren, but the sequel trilogy is more about Rey than Kylo Ren, than Ben Solo, a Skywalker by bloodline, even though his last name ain't Skywalker. But here's the thing, then bring Darth Sidious back in Rise of Skywalker, or in my opinion, they should have brought him back in the end of The Last Jedi. Besides having the broom boy being at this final scene, having Darth Sidious being the final scene of The Last Jedi, but that's just me. if they were planning to bring Sidious back. Bring Darth Sidious back alone doesn't ruin the Skywalker Saga. In my opinion, it doesn't. Because, like I said towards the beginning, he is one of the most badass and greatest villains and Star Wars villains to date. The fact where it having Palpatine ruins like the Skywalker Saga is having Rey being a Palpatine. That's the part that ruins the Skywalker Saga and the Rise of Skywalker, which is very deceptive. Unless if you mean, uh, like Ben Solo emerges, destroys Kylo Ren and helps Rey kill off the Emperor. Unless, like, maybe that means like Ben Solo's the Skywalker that you're talking about. Then the title of Episode 9 ain't deceptive. If you're talking about Ben Solo, or for calming his darkness and helping Rey set things right, pretty much. But if we're talking about Rey, then yeah, that's where it ruins it. Because, yeah, you can say, well, Rey chose the name Skywalker at the end of Rise of Skywalker. Well, yeah, but is she an actual Skywalker? Or is she someone who's not a Skywalker bloodline that's just ripped off the name Skywalker? If you've seen the movie, then you'll see that she's just someone who ripped off the name Skywalker, because she's a Palpatine descendant. From what I've seen, she's the daughter of a failed clone of Palpatine. So in a sense, she's like a daughter and granddaughter of Palpatine, which I'm confused. And it was stupid. It's a stupid way to try to justify why Palpatine's back. Or I should say stupid. A very lazy way to do it. And there's nothing wrong with having clones as children. Jango Fett did it with Boba Fett. It worked out in my opinion. It worked for me. But they had it where Darth Sidious was a deadbeat dad pretty much to his failed clone. And I feel like it would have been more beneficial if they didn't have his son be a failed clone. But the long story short, Rey's heritage of being a Palpatine ruins the Skywalker Saga. Only because it's not really about the Skywalkers anymore then. It's really about the Palpatines. Because now, it's, okay, in the prequels, Darth Sidious secretly manipulated both sides to get the Clone Wars started. And that was part of his plan to make the Jedi fall. And then he was the Emperor. And he was like, even though he wasn't shown in the first two, like, in A New Hope, and he wasn't really shown except for like 5 minutes of Empire Strikes Back, he was the main villain of the original trilogy. We all thought that he was dead, and he was pretty much saying that he's been working behind the doors for like the sequel trilogy, and he either banged a woman who got him his son to bang a woman who got Rey, or unfortunately the clone theory is canon, which I don't agree with. But either way, them making Rey a Palpatine ruins the Skywalker Saga. If Rey was like either a nobody, or if she was like a secret daughter to Luke Skywalker that Luke sensed when he was training her, and didn't tell her, would have been better and more fitting to the Skywalker Saga and Rise of Skywalker title. And you could say that, yeah, Luke was afraid. You could have kept the same dialogue. I was afraid, which is why it was kind of reduced back to Rey in Rise in The Last Jedi. We can also say if Rey was Luke's secret daughter that might have not known about or Luke known about, he could say that seeing his daughter again brought up painful memories of maybe Kylo Ren killing Luke's wife or the woman that Luke impregnated. Luke doesn't have to marry that person in order for him to impregnate that woman. So that could have been another reason why Luke was kind of a jerk to Rey for most of The Last Jedi. Who knows? But long story short, the way they had brought in Palpatine in terms of having him being Rey's parentage kind of ruins the Rise of Skywalker. Like in terms of the title, it should have been called The Rise of Palpatine. And it does ruin the Skywalker Saga, because by having Rey as Palpatine, it no longer makes it the Skywalker Saga. More like makes it the Palpatine Saga. It's like I said, Palpatine was the cause of 2 wars. And the 2 wars were the last 2 trilogies. And you can say that with him cloning Snoke, he was the start of the war against the Resistance and the First Order. But if Rey was a Skywalker, you could have said, well, still, Darth Sidious might have been the start of 3 wars. It's still the Skywalker Saga because Rey is a Skywalker. But he can't do that. And, I mean, yes, seeing Palpatine again seeing the guy who played Palpatine again in Star Wars was fun, but yeah, I just feel like Episode 9 could have been better than what we got it, if that makes sense. Yeah, it could have been better. So, do you guys agree with me? Do you guys agree with me about how, at least with my reasoning anyways, like, with how do you guys think that Palpatine, in a sense, ruined the Skywalker Saga by having Rey as his granddaughter, and it's actually ruining the name of Rise of Skywalker? Or do you guys disagree with me? Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys soon. Love you all, and may the Force be with us all, and always.